Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. There may likely be problems coming up as Fubara have decided to do that very thing that the likes of the three wise men are warning that it shouldn't take place at all, that the past should remain in the past and let bygones be bygones. But at this rate, this cannot be bygones because reverse funds are involved in this matter. Let's dive into the news proper to find out exactly what may be going on in Rivers State that may definitely trigger that very thing they don't want it to trigger. But before we go into the news proper, my colleague is in the house. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, there was an award, a contract awarded for the reconstruction of the State Secretariat complex in Port Harcourt has actually been cancelled by Rivers State Executive Council. Now, the 134 billion naira, I take that again, the 134 billion, not million, or billion naira, which was awarded by Vice Admiral Ibas, Ette, retired during his time in charge as the sole administrator of Rivers State, was cancelled during the State Executive Council meeting just some few minutes ago under the leadership of Governor Simlalaye Fubara. Now, the council also directed CCECC, the company awarded the project by Ibas, to refund the 20 billion naira mobilization fee it has already received. Now, similarly, a 6-man committee headed by the Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Ngozi Odo, was set up by the council to evaluate and make recommendations for the construction of computer-based test CBT centers across the state to facilitate the conduct of external examinations. Now, the council further directed that the flood committee, headed by the deputy governor, to take immediate action to address flooding in the state and caution residents against blocking drainage channels. Meanwhile, the other things, of course, Fubara have talked about, one of which is that he has already told the traditional rulers that government has started again, that Fubara, the things are happening already. Project contractors have returned to project sites, and he has actually assured Rivers interest must always come first. Of course, he's also seeking synergy to sustain peace, upscale development in communities, and also he has, marked a lot of projects, approved projects, one of which is the construction of 4.8 kilometer reinforcement concrete shoreline protection and reclamation at Queenstown in Pobo Nkoro local government area. A lot of constructions are going on, but what is interesting is that mobilization fee that the company should return 20 billion naira mobilization fee. This is Nigeria. It was supposed to be a 134 billion naira project, but right now it looks as if the way things are going, just refund that mobilization fee they gave you, that 20 billion. And if you watch the way Ibas was going about it when the state assembly were insisting that, can we probe you to see how you spend our monies, our location money, our revenue and all that. Hey, it was like, well, I'm not answerable to you, I'm answerable to Mr. President. Some of the things they tend to not to probe, no problem. But see this one here that looks very shabby. Can we turn back? Now, we are Nigeria. The question is, that 20 billion, was it genuinely given as a mobilization fee? Or is it just a case of, okay, being that you still do the contracts, and we could just, just to marry accounts? I'm not saying, just insinuating, allegedly, just to marry account, but you still run just so let everything just, balance. Could it be there was none, or could it be there is? It is not left for the company to reform. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on this latest drama?
Well, this was expected, because why I say this was expected is number one, because Fubara is an accountant, and there's something called prudency and accountability when it comes to an accountant. Accountability, at least if you must do whatever you're going to do, let it be a little bit, let it show that the money was judiciously spent, being that it's taxpayers' money. But a situation whereby you just see some bulky thing which already is pointing to one direction, that uncertainty revolves around, the appropriation of such funds and all of that. Every accountant will react, because we know what documentation really means, and whenever you are smelling that something is happening.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ibas said that he's not answerable to all of them.
Well, whether he's answerable or not, but I think that when this guy came on board, if you check out it, you're going to see that when Fubara came on board newly, as after the 6-month suspension, he said something when he met with, I think that was when he with the PEMSEC, and he talked about the issue of going through files that right now those who went contrary to the provision of the financial guidelines or did anything wrong, just because you saw a stranger around you for the past 6 months, you're going to pay dearly for it. And I think right now that's what is already going on. If for any reason you dive in and you do anything funny, or you take use the opportunity to see some monies and all of that, you're going to feel the sledgehammer very soon. The other guy has walked away, but you're part of us and all of that, I'm going to deal with you. And also any other company that was brought in, all of them are going to suffer this. And guess what? I can tell you the whole truth, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is too busy to put his eyes on all of this. Well, the company have to suffer it, and now that's one of the things that you must take into consideration when you're dealing with government as a whole. So many times when contractors deal with government, they always shed tears, because they could be some abracadabra that will go on, and you just feel that it's okay because this man is on board, only for the person to take a walk and pretend as if he didn't even do anything with you, and you are the person that will suffer all the blasting and everything. So wisdom demands that whenever you see instability in governance, don't try to drift too close, except you're ready to receive the sledgehammer when the other party comes in. And I think that's exactly what is going to happen. If they don't do the needful in form of refunds, and nobody at the higher level that will come in to salvage the situation, because I know so well that when it comes to things like this, that money, if you don't enter many hands, you understand? They can say, well, we are going to reimburse you this amount, and what will come to your hand is like maybe out of 20 billion, you may be sure maybe 5 billion will enter his hand.
You're not asked to refund.
You're not asked to refund it,
and that you didn't even see completely.
Exactly, and unfortunately, the way the money is always been, I'm not trying to point accusing finger at anybody. I'm just trying to look at the Nigerian factor. So right now the guy could be sweating and he doesn't know how he's going to handle the issue. Or maybe let's just believe that the man who was in charge about the day was a very prudent man, God-fearing man, and he must have handed over all the amount to him. But being that money has been handed over to him, he must have started doing one or two things to.
As the company now.
Yeah, the company to be able to recoup all of that from him is going to take serious sweat. But however, it's good enough for the government to take this kind of drastic steps, so that even if you are existing for any reason and you are getting involved in any fraudulent thing, you're going to pay for it when the time comes, because one day, the Pharaoh that knows not Joseph will show up. So I think that's exactly the situation of things right now.
Oh, well, let's hope for the best as we go wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation.